Hi everyone, and welcome to another episode of Growth Challenges for Manufacturers and How to Overcome Them. I'm your host, Catherine Seymour. This episode is brought to you by MacRAE'S, trusted by North American businesses for over 100 years. As a leader in B2B digital marketing, we help industrial and manufacturing companies struggling with stagnant growth and lead generation. By leveraging advanced AI integration and automation in our SEO and lead generation programs, we help you appear more prominently in search and AI results, like ChatGPT. This drives significantly more qualified leads to your website, resulting in stronger lead flow and increased revenue, crucial in today's highly competitive digital landscape. Learn more at macraes.com today. Today I'm joined by Alex Maskaloff, Vice President of Sales and Business Development at Monarch, a leading precision contract manufacturer. With over 45 years of experience supporting automotive, defense, and aerospace and commercial industries. Monarch is known for its vertical integration approach, delivering innovative solutions from prototyping to full-scale production, all under one roof. Their investment in automation and cutting-edge machining technologies has positioned them with a trusted partner for complex, high-precision components. Alex, it's great to have you here with us today. Welcome to the show.
Good morning. Thank you for having me.
Not a problem. Alex, let's start with your journey. What led you to your current role at Monarch, and what was your focus as a VP in business development?
Well, my journey, as my wife says, is a very classic American story. As you might notice, I have an accent. I immigrated from a small country in Eastern Europe, Belarus, and Monarch was my first stop or first opportunity, first job. And I started as just an hourly worker working on a dock, packing parts. Then over time, I transitioned into production management, but my ultimate goal was always to do sales and business development and manufacturing. So while being working, I went to school, I obtained my MBA in international business, and I was lucky to secure a sales account management role with this company almost 25 years ago. And over time, I worked for different industries. I left Monarch for 15 years, lived in UK, lived in California, working from a slightly different industry, oil and gas and filtration. But then I realized that I was invited back to Monarch several years ago, and I assumed a role of Vice President of Business Development and Sales.
That's amazing.
It's a classic immigrant story, American dream, and I'm a good example. I wouldn't say a good example, but I'm an example of that storyline. Back to your last question, the focus is it's pretty simple. It's within my title. It's a business development, but of course it's a broad terminology for business development. I think for us, specifically for our company, it's stability through diversification, as you mentioned, rightfully so. Our clients represent different industries: firearms, government and commercial firearms, oil and gas, automotive, and some industrial segments.
Monarch has a long-standing reputation in precision manufacturing. How has the company evolved since its founding, and how have you continued to build the legacy today?
As you might, you've done your search, obviously, and Monarch has been owned under the same family, 3 generations of Monarch, family, and we always stayed in New England. We're one of the largest contract manufacturing shops in probably on the East Coast of the United States. We went through a lot of cycles in economy and different recession at different scales, but what's good about Crete and Crete family, and I appreciate the opportunity. They never relocated. They never moved facility despite the higher taxes and some challenges and pressure from outside of low-cost countries. And I think that's just a commitment to their people. Crete family truly believe in U.S.-based manufacturing or North American-based manufacturing and the value it provides. But also the big part of our success are people, and our company is based on probably 30, 40 different flavors of people from all over the world, from Eastern Europe, South America, Western Africa, Middle East, East Asia, and we created a small communities. We have people working, husbands and wife, kids and parents, and friends and families, and they created communities around our company. So it's definitely loyalty and dedication to our people, and that's what makes us unique. Very low turnover of people, great mix of different backgrounds and experiences that everybody little by little invest in developing our company.
For those less familiar, can you give us a brief overview of what Monarch does and how the types of challenges that you kind of help your customers with?
Sure. So Monarch is a contract manufacturer. We manufacture high precision components and assemblies. In other words, as you said, some people not familiar with this type of environment. We don't design product, we design processes. Our customers design products, they give us blueprints, scope of work, and we develop processes and customize processes and manufacture parts for them. Yeah, that's what we do.
So really close relationship with your clients then.
Well, one of your questions was about the challenges, and being in the United States, close to our customers, and most of our customers have global footprint, but they also have facilities in North America. We do supply Germany, Switzerland, Mexico, China, but I guess the problems for our customers we solve the parts availability, being healthy, financially healthy and stable. We invest in inventory, we invest in materials, and so availability is the big factor. We also help our customers to improve cost and help them to manage their cost within time period. And the last thing that I've mentioned, we don't design product, but we help our customers to improve product functionality and fit, and also help them to redesign their parts and products to find cost reduction opportunities.
Amazing. The manufacturing sector, like automotive and defense, comes with intense quality standards and global competition. What are some of the biggest growth challenges that you see for your clients in the industry at large, or is it just facing it today?
This is a great question that probably the answer is very unique to the last 2-3 years of development. And our customers, as you mentioned, represent different industries, and I'd say 80% of our customers have a U.S. based footprint, and one of the major challenges these days are economic and geopolitical uncertainties. There is a lot going on in the world from the political perspective, but also from U.S. government policies. What we have seen within the last 18 to 24 months is an increased interest in new projects and on onshoring projects, but at the same time, we're not seeing decisions being made, long-term decisions and commitment by clients. And that's not because they don't want to. I think they're all in a waiting period to
Yeah.
see how this changes with U.S. governments, but also with the global state of economy, what changes it will drive. So I would say our clients in a waiting period, they make a short-term decisions with a lack of a long-term commitment.
Makes sense. Creed Monarch serves a wide range of industries. How do you stay ahead of shifting demands or technology requirements across these diverse industries?
Well, I wish we had several hours, but I think it's kind of cliche to say that we reinvest in technology, and it's not just because we want to. I think it's a market-driven need. Products become more complex. If you look at even the car on the road today and 30 years ago,
Yeah.
there's a huge difference in styles and performance, and it's driven by consumers, but also implemented by our customers. So the products like fuel injectors, brakes, even firearms become more and more complex. And you cannot produce same part or new parts or develop parts with same equipment. So you have to reinvest, and that's what we do in equipment and processes. So that's the big thing. The second thing, equipment is nothing without people. You have to invest in your people. And this is specifically a huge problem these days in manufacturing industry. And I'm not alone who would tell you that hiring becomes one of the biggest challenges in production or in manufacturing. These days, younger generation have more opportunities than 20, 30 years ago. There is a YouTube, there is cryptocurrency, NFT, and financial management, and hate to say it, but manufacturing becomes the secondary choice. And this is the most important challenge today, is to ensure you invest in people and attract people and find ways to have them stay.
For sure. And obviously, Creed Monarch is doing a good job. If you have long-term employees, and turnover rates are extremely low. So you're doing a good job there for sure.
Yeah, we have people that one of the biggest issue for Creed Monarch, people are retiring. It's a good thing. They've been with us for 40 to 50 years, and so some people, that's the only job they ever had. And by retiring, they've taken a lot of tribal knowledge and relationships, and it's a good thing. But that explains the low turnover.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. With more customers researching vendors online, how do you see the buying journey shift? And how does it affect Creed Monarch in adapting sales and marketing approaches?
This is probably Creed Monarch one of the weakest side. For 70 years, we didn't have a need to invest in marketing. And I'm talking about in general, not online marketing. Our business, we never had a marketing branch or outside sales. And our business had been based on long-term relationship, on repeat customers, and word-to-mouth advertising. People leave companies and they bring Creed Monarch as a supplier to other companies. But as I said, retirement is not just an issue at Creed Monarch. People retire from other companies, and we really have to take the marketing and online presence seriously. So within the last 12 months, we started several initiatives. We created company videos. We upgraded our website. We started working with Google SEO options, and we become more active on LinkedIn. So those are basics, and I understand those are still baby steps for Creed Monarch, but we have to start somewhere, because with the access to internet, we start seeing potential customers, prospects reaching out to us from Germany, from Mexico, from India, from China. I could see within the last 6 months that our efforts to invest in the digital marketing paying off, even if they are considered kind of a basics. The challenge of also being a smaller company, I mean, we're a good sized company, we're about 250 people. We still wearing several hats, and but we need to do better. It's actually an exciting opportunity for us because we started from nothing, and every single improvement brings a result.
Which is great, really great. Creed Monarch has significant investments in automation and advanced manufacturing. How has innovation shaped your operations and helped you stay competitive?
Well, two sides. Automation basically helps you to be more efficient and increase your productivity. We try to grab as much knowledge as possible and implement lean principles. Lean principles originally introduced by Toyota production system. And we trying to be creative by creating cells, investing in latest equipment, send people for training, and so all this impacts the just-in-time deliveries and helps us with cost management.
When it comes to winning trust for high-spec, mission-critical components, how do you demonstrate your value and differentiate from other suppliers?
There are a couple things. First of all, today we compete on a global scale. Most people have access to internet and have access and can find suppliers across the world. One of our selling points is our footprint. We're about 200,000 square feet facility with a 400 plus equipment with different capabilities and some of them very unique capabilities. That gives us opportunity to diversify our services. In other words, instead of producing a part looks like an apple, we can manufacture parts looks like a pineapple or a cherry. So with having 400 different type of equipment, work centers give us opportunity to be creative and provide wider or broader range of services. The second big point and a selling point that unique to us, we've been always a very stable, financially healthy company, which gives us opportunity to invest in raw materials and with and finished goods. A lot of our customers bring repeat orders, and we produce same parts, and we have long-term agreement. And what service we provide, we actually invest in material, and as you might know, material price fluctuate and the availability fluctuate significantly these days due to many reasons. And what we do is we sign long-term commitment and we invest in material and finished goods, and which helps customers to release parts within 24 hours. Today, to be competitive is not always about pricing. It's about product availability, about your responsiveness and speed to market. And that's one of our selling points. We also, with high volume parts, we in a good position to create sales and dedicate equipment specifically for certain products and our customers. And our customers love that. They basically look at us as a production branch of their facility. And that's the service we provide. It's not just one-time sales. It's where we have a mutual commitment from two parties, Creed Monarch as a supplier and our customers. That's where we can be creative. That's where we can provide additional volume. And to be honest, most customers are willing to to engage in this long-term relationships and by having access to their product at a very short lead time.
For sure, for sure. If you could fast track one area of your go-to-market or innovation strategy, where would you focus? What would be the unlock for your business?
Speaking of responsiveness, I think quick changeover, speed to market. I think quick changeover and adaptive planning capability would be, if I were to choose, that would be my first focus. And I know it's more on a production side, and my responsibility focus on sales and business development. But I think if we improve and expand our fundamentals of execution side, we wouldn't need marketing. We would be growing organically with our existing customers and prospects that would appreciate quick changeover. Unfortunately, I've seen a lot of manufacturers, including Monarch, that often slow to respond to customer demand. And sometimes we do great, and sometimes we could do better. There is always opportunity to do better. And I think for me, that would be our main focus, to speed to market, speed to rapid response to customer demand change, which is one of the biggest challenges these days.
For sure, for sure. Looking ahead, what technologies or trends do you think are most destructive or transformative in precision manufacturing?
I would say new material development. I think vertical integrations. There are a lot of different companies and different segments that are doing a great job, but they are limited with what they can do within their own capability.
Right,
And
right.
what I see at Monarch, by bringing on new equipment, new capabilities, we expanded our capability. We can create processes and sales and equipment under the same roof, under the same umbrella. Mm-hmm. We still outsource a lot of outside services like heat treat and plating and welding, but having all under the same umbrella would help. I think would be, definitely would move us to the right direction. And the last one, kind of related to what I said before, rapid prototyping and rapid production. Which will help speed to market. I see several companies that on the West Coast, they look at the new ways to react to customer demand and market demand by creating unique kind of all-in-one rapid prototyping and manufacturing, including additive manufacturing. And I think they're on something. I think there is, though it's a struggle these days, but I think that's one of those, as you said, disruptive trends that we should consider.
Very cool. Can you share a recent customer win or product success story that really illustrates the kind of impact Monarch delivers?
Actually, working on a project right now, right in the process of launching. So one of our OEM automotive customer that we've been working with for the last 3-4 years, they source parts across all over the world. China, Germany, Vietnam, and Mexico have facilities across the world. And they have family of parts. As you might know, East Asia is still one of the best manufacturing, low-cost manufacturing hubs of the world. And we actually won a big project, several million pieces a year project with that company. We are creating cells. We are onshoring that product. And briefly, or long story short, we it proves that we can be competitive, not just Crete Monarch, but the
Absolutely.
United States, and compete against low-cost region suppliers.
That's really cool. Finally, for other manufacturers or entrepreneurs in this niche of high spec industries, what advice would you share for navigating complex sales cycles or staying relevant?
Most people have access to knowledge these days. Most people have access to equipment. Companies have access to capital, and which is different from what happened 20, 30, 40 years ago. I think it's not just complicated sales cycles, but in general, manufacturing industry, I would say investing in people is the most important part. We have capacity constraint is not about equipment constraint, it's about people constraint, and I can't state enough how important to invest in the right people and develop and promote within or hire experts from outside. I know it's not necessarily a direct answer to your question, but it applies to the complicated manufacturing sales cycles or just success in manufacturing in general.
Right? Every part it goes towards the company, whether it's the people, the manufacturing, or the sales, it's all one. Definitely understandable. Alex, thank you so much for joining us today and sharing your insights on precision manufacturing, automation, and staying adaptable in complex industries. Your perspective on Crete Monarch's commitment to continuous improvement really stood out, and I'm sure our listeners are walking away with great ideas and insights on the industry. Thanks again for being here, and for everyone listening, see you on the next episode of Growth Challenges for Manufacturers.
Thank you. Thank you so much for the opportunity. I love sharing this. Yeah, this is what I like to do. This is my passion. This is the Crete Monarch niche, and love to meet again.
Thank you so much.